Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we crack open those dense corporate filings and find the juicy bits you actually care about. Today we're looking at Array Digital Infrastructure, Inc., and a report that dropped right around their annual shareholder meeting. You might want to buckle up because this one has a few interesting voting outcomes. We're diving into the details from their annual meeting on October 9th, 2025. This is where shareholders get to vote on important company matters, and it is always a good gauge of how things are going behind the scenes. First up, the directors. Now, shareholders vote for who they want to lead the company, and this report shows the breakdown. For the common shareholders, we see 3 directors, Harry J. Hartzik Jr., Esteban C. Iriarte, and Xavier D. Williams, all elected. The numbers here show a decent chunk of votes for, with some withhold votes and broken non-votes, which means some shareholders didn't give specific instructions to their brokers. This is pretty standard stuff for director elections. However, when we look at the series of common shares, it is a different story. 6 directors, Leroy T. Carlson Jr., Walter C. D. Carlson, Douglas W. Chambers, Kenneth S. Dixon, Joseph R. Hanley, and Vicky L. Villiquez all received a massive number of 4 votes, 330,580,770 to be exact, and absolutely 0 withhold or broken non-votes. This indicates that whoever holds these series of shares has a very, very keen interest in keeping these specific directors in place. It's a strong signal of concentrated voting power. Next, the company asked shareholders to approve PricewaterhouseCoopers LLP as their independent auditors for 2025. This is a routine but important vote. It basically means shareholders are signing off on the company's choice of accountants who will check the books. And guess what? Good news for the accountants. The proposal was approved with a whopping 379,366,472 votes for. Only a tiny fraction voted against or abstained. So PricewaterhouseCoopers LLP got the thumbs up. Now, this next item is really interesting. The company proposed amendments to its governing documents, its certificate of incorporation, to reflect some big changes due to a recently closed transaction with T-Mobile. This is a major deal, and shareholders overwhelmingly approved it with 378,826,430 votes for. This signals that the shareholders are on board with the new direction of Array Digital Infrastructure, Inc., stemming from this T-Mobile partnership. It's a clear stamp of approval for this strategic shift. And finally, the say on pay vote. This is where shareholders give their opinion, though not a binding one, on how the top executives are being paid. It is a way for shareholders to voice their feelings about executive compensation. And in this case, the proposal was also approved. Over 375 million votes were in favour. This suggests that the shareholders are generally comfortable with the compensation packages for the company's top brass, at least for now. Looking at the big picture from this filing, Array Digital Infrastructure Inc. seems to have strong shareholder support for its current leadership and its strategic direction, especially with that T-Mobile deal. The overwhelming votes in favour of the amendments and director elections show a united front, at least among those who actively voted. However, the stark difference in voting between common shareholders and series shareholders is something to keep an eye on. It hints at a dynamic where a specific block of shareholders holds significant influence, which can be both a strength for decisive action and a potential weakness if that block's interests diverge from the broader shareholder base. The approval of the T-Mobile transaction amendments is the most significant point here. It indicates a major pivot for the company, and the market will be watching closely to see how this partnership translates into actual business growth and financial performance. The ratification of the auditors and the executive compensation votes suggest a stable internal governance, but the real test will be in the future financial results following this strategic realignment. Alright, that is our breakdown of Array Digital Infrastructure, Inc. Slater shareholder meeting report. What is your take on these voting outcomes and what they signal for the company's future? Did that T-Mobile deal surprise you? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If this deep dive into corporate filings was helpful, please hit that like button, it really helps us out, and subscribe for more decoded insights. And don't forget to join our Discord community. The link is in the description for even more discussions. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.